Hi guys, welcome to iTTV. I am Mr. Wong, your English teacher. In today's lesson, we're going to talk about formal letter writing. Now, whenever we do a formal letter, there are so many reminders about where the date is to be written, the need to draw a line, and many other guidelines as regards its format. Now, why do we have to do this? Now, the reason is quite simple. When we receive letters at home from friends, they are friendly and informal letters. But you must remember that when you write a formal letter, it's written for a formal purpose and is usually addressed directly to the person in charge, such as to the manager, head of department, and so forth. The formal letter must be straightforward, to the matter, simple and precise. Now, we've spoken about formal letters before. Today, we are going to recap what we've learned. Are you ready? Let's begin. Now, we always begin with the writer's address. So here we have 30, Jalan Batu Berendam, Taman Bunga Mawar, 35809, Kelana Jaya. Now, what's the next step after writing the writer's address? Now, this is very important. That's right, we need to draw a line. So let's take a look at this again. So after the writer's address, we draw a line across the page. So next, we write the address of the recipient, of the person to whom the letter is written. So here we have General Manager. Now, what company are we writing to? Pacha Cleaning Sendirian Berhad. 11 and 13, Jalan TPK, 3/8, Section 2, Taman Perindustrian Kinrara, 47100, Puchong, Selangor. Now, you see Selangor is underlined. Now, the last line of the recipient's address should be underlined. The date should be written on the right-hand side of the page and on the same line as the last line of the recipient's address. The month should be in capital or block letters. So always remember to date your letters. This is also very useful when you want to follow up. When you call the company and say, I've written you a letter dated. So you tell them when you wrote the letter, so they will be able to trace back when you wrote the letter. So now, let's look at the next step of the format of a formal letter. Are you ready? We have salutation or greeting, which is written on the left, one line below the recipient's address. It is usually written as Dear Sir or Dear Madam. After your salutation, you have the subject heading of the letter, application for the post of Customer Service Officer. This subject heading should be underlined. It should inform the recipient what the contents of the letter are about. The subject heading should be simple and concise. For example, this letter is an application letter for the post of a Customer Service Officer. Let's continue. The contents or subject matter should be arranged in paragraphs. The first paragraph is not numbered as shown. With reference to your advertisement in the Morning Post dated 28 May 2010 for the post of a Customer Service Officer, I would like to submit my application. The introduction should make a reference to the advertisement for the job. It should also mention that an application is being made for the post. Now let's look at the purpose of this formal letter. Now, in your first paragraph, there is no number, but as you move into the second paragraph, you number it. Paragraph 2, full stop, space, and then you begin the paragraph. Likewise, for the paragraphs that follow. Paragraph 2 begins with the personal details. Let's read this. I would like to apply for the post of Customer Service Officer as advertised in the morning paper on 28 May 2010. My name is Lee Bo Kwan and I am a 23-year-old Chinese male. I grew up in Setiawan, Perak, as an orphan. I lived with my uncle and aunt. Now we're going to move on to the next part of the letter. So after telling the person about yourself, what do you talk about next? So let's take a look. Next paragraph, again, 3, space. Now we talk about qualifications. So let's read this. I received my education in SRK Methodist ACS and SMK Hutan Melintang. I have scored 9 A's in my SPM examination, and I had my further studies at University Putra Malaysia. I majored in business and marketing with a CGPA of 3.87. Every semester, I topped the Dean's List. So, next paragraph, they talked about qualifications. So, as you talk about your qualifications, you see how structured it is. So as you read, you straight away understand the background of this person. Now there might be something you're not clear about in there. CGPA. What is CGPA? Now, CGPA is basically your point average throughout your semesters. Now, a perfect CGPA will be 4. So if you score 4, it means that you're getting A's or 100% or close to 100% for all of your papers. So 3.87 is very close to 4. So this is a very good student. And as you look at his SPM examination results, you know that even in secondary school, he was a very good student. So let's continue to learn more about this applicant. Paragraph 4, we are now going to learn a little bit about this applicant. In my secondary school days, I was active in sports. I had participated in football matches and even represented the Manjung district as a goalkeeper. Apart from that, I had represented my school in the district debate competition as well as being the Yellow House captain for 2 consecutive years. During the semester breaks, I worked at an electrical store which belonged to my uncle's friend. It was during these breaks that I had learned to repair many electrical items, including a vacuum cleaner. So in paragraph 4, we learn a little bit more about the applicant. So let's see what he writes in paragraph 5. Paragraph 5. I am proficient in spoken English, Bahasa Malaysia, and several Chinese dialects like Hokkien, Cantonese, and Mandarin. I'm able to operate Microsoft Word, Excel, and PowerPoint, but I do not possess any knowledge of SAP. I believe I have a pleasant personality as I have a wide variety of friends, as I am popular among my friends. So in paragraph 5, what is the applicant talking about? Basically, like what is written in the bracket, experiences or any other activities that can support your application. So you can always write about your co-curricular activities. Mention details that can enhance your personality. So these are the things that, as the manager reads, they start to understand what sort of person you are. And if you can present yourself well, they will call you to come and see them for an interview so that they can get to know you better. Let's move on. Now, towards the end, paragraph 6. Enclosed are my photostated copies of my academic and co-curricular certificates. I am available for an interview at any time convenient to you. You end with thank you and you sign off. Yours truly, you sign your name. Lo Bo Kwan. Note to thanks and complimentary close, which include the signature and name of the writer in capital letters, written on the left-hand side. We have just reviewed what we learned in our previous lessons. What we're going to do now is we are going to read a question that will need us to write a formal letter. Are you ready to continue? Let's begin. Formal letter writing. Read the question. You have just come across an article about the moral decline among the youth in the Young Brain paper. You are interested in giving your opinion about the youth of today. Based on the information given below, write a formal letter to the editor of the Young Brain paper. In your letter, give your opinion and reasons to support your view. So, these are some of your opinions. Let's read. Use the following notes to write your letter. Opinions: bully younger youth, not interested in studies, idle around shopping malls or hawker stalls, waste of time, disciplinary problems like playing truant, involved in illegal activities like drugs, sex. Use the following notes to write your letter. So here we have reasons: lack of guidance from parents, the lure of a wealthy lifestyle, curious about drugs and sex, pampered by parents from young, advancement in science and technology. Now remember, when writing the formal letter, you should remember to use the correct format of a formal letter, to use all the notes given, to give 2 relevant points of your own. Now, always remember to use the correct format as you write. The format carries marks, so always understand the format before you write. Next, use all the notes that are provided, and finally, add 2 relevant points of your own to support to what you are writing. So if you can remember all of this, you will do very well. Let's continue. So how do we award the marks? For format, we have 3 marks, content 12 marks, and language 20 marks. So altogether, you have a total of 35 marks. Now remember, your address, greeting, subject heading, and complimentary close or closing remarks. So always remember, when you write a formal letter, your address, greeting, subject heading, and complimentary close or closing remarks. Now if you can remember this, you will get your marks for your format. So let's move on. We're now going to take a look at an essay of student A. So this is basically the essay. Let's look at it closely. Essay of student A. So first, we have the address 3 Jalan Farooq, Taman Seputeh, 47890, Kelana Jaya. We have the line, and then the editor. What company? The Young Brain paper. Dear Sir, the bully younger, the youths, and not interested in studies, people idle around shopping malls or hawker stalls, and waste of time. It is disciplinary problem for like playing truant because I involved in illegal activities in the like drugs and sex. Reason: the lack of guidance from parents. They work long time away from house. No take care children. In the lure of a wealthy lifestyle, they want curious about drugs and sex. They pampered by parents from young when children. No advance of science and technology. Thank you, yours sincerely, Pei Pei. Now, as we read that example, did you actually understand what this person was writing about? Now, the notes were there, but it was not really structured at all. It didn't really make sense. And also, if you pay attention to the format is incorrect. The address for the editor for the Young Brains paper was not complete. After his signature, he did not write his name in capital letters. There were a lot of mistakes, and the format was incorrect. This example of a formal letter would not merit marks. So, it's imperative that you write according to the specified format and understand the questions to fulfill the task given. Next, let's look at an essay of student B. So this is the essay. Essay of student B. 16 Jalan Kenari, Taman Raja Wali, 52001 Kuala Lumpur, The Line. The editor, The Young Brain Paper, Jalan Balai Tiong, 51100 Bangsa, underlined. On the same line, we have the date, 23rd July 2010. Not bad. The greeting, Dear Sir, Madam, and then the subject, the moral decline among the youths, underlined. I refer to the above matter. Straight away, we go into the second paragraph, 2 space. I, very sad to read about the moral decline among the youths nowadays. As a youth myself, I like to give some opinions. I noticed that many youths that bully younger youths. For example, some of the Form 5 boys would bully the Form 3 students in the toilets or in the canteen. These youths are not interested in studies. They are boring and make trouble in class. Apart from that, they go idle around shopping malls or hawker stalls. They don't stay in school. They meet friends in Mid-Valley Mega Mall or Sungai Wang Plaza and walk around spending money. Paragraph 3. They have disciplinary problems like playing truant. They smoked and playing firecrackers in school. They involve in illegal activities like drugs and sex. They loving to see girls in the magazine. So the reasons are lack of guidance from parents. Their parents work whole day long, no time to teach their children the lure of a wealthy lifestyle, and they were curious about drugs and sex. They pampered by parents from young and the advance of science and technology. 4. I end my letter here. Thank you, yours faithfully, Bo Liang. Now, this sample essay is much better than the first one, even though it still has many mistakes. There are grammatical and sentence construction errors. But in this example, the format is more specified. And we also see a structured presentation of the points, so we understand what the writer is trying to say. It still makes sense. So here, we will be able to give marks to this student in many aspects. So, when you compare these two samples, Sample A is poor in format and language. Sample B is more structured and is written according to the specified format. Hence, student Sample B would merit more marks even though they are grammatical and sentence errors. Now let's take a look at a proper formal letter. So here we have it. Let's take a closer look. 28 Jalan Nusa, Taman Burung Semerak, 55110 Kuala Lumpur. The line, the editor, The Young Brain Paper, Balai Seni dan Craft, Jalan Pudu, 54892 Kuala Lumpur, underlined, 13 May 2010. The greeting, Dear Sir, Madam. The subject, the moral decline among the youth, underlined. I refer to the above matter. Second paragraph. I read in your paper regarding the moral decline among the youth. I agree with what was written because the reality of it is that it is happening right in front of our noses. Therefore, I would like to give some of my opinions and reasons with regards to the above matter. Some youth like to bully the younger youth, especially in the schools. They may have some personal problems and they take it out on the younger ones. They have fistfights, and at a lesser degree, they threaten the younger ones verbally. Some people may say that they have psychological problems that stem from insecure childhood. These youth are not interested in their studies because they have lagged behind
since their primary school days. Some of them cannot even write the letters of the alphabet correctly. When they cannot cope with the studies due to their handicap in learning, they focus their attention on bullying other people. Perhaps they hope their shortcomings or weakness will not be exposed in this way. 4. Furthermore, they have a long list of disciplinary problems like playing truant, smoking, dyeing their hair in
various colors. In some cases,
they're involved in illegal activities like selling drugs and indulging in sexual activities. Most of them are not able to find a job
that requires academic excellence.
So they play truant in order to sell drugs to earn a living. However, not all bullies have disciplinary problems or are involved in illegal activities. Some of them just prefer to idle or loiter around the shopping malls or hawker stalls.
These places are air-conditioned and do not require an entrance fee.
There is no time limit as to how long they can loiter in these places.
The irony is that they do not see it as a waste of time. They could have spent the time
to read books, to catch up with their lessons, or even get a private tutor to help them in their studies. Some of the youth become bullies as they lack the guidance from their parents. In these modern times, parents are working hard to provide material wealth
for their children.
They are paying for bigger houses, bigger cars, latest mobile phones, and whatever gadgets there are in the market. Therefore, these parents leave home before sunrise in order to avoid the traffic jam and
may even return home
way after their children have gone to bed. To overcome their guilt, they pamper their children by allowing them to have limitless cash, and they do not bother to monitor their children's activities. They pamper them
from young.
Left on their own with the need for attention, they bully other youth. Besides that, the lure of a wealthy lifestyle is much too tempting to be resisted. They see their friends wearing branded clothes and accessories with
access to golf and social clubs.
They need to have money in order to lead such a lifestyle. Without any other means, they resort to bullying and threatening the other youth. Not only that, the youth are a curious lot. They want to experiment with drugs and sex. Some of them get help from their friends, while others get
information from the internet. The advancement in
science and technology has helped them tremendously. In the end, they land themselves in trouble with the authorities. In conclusion, it is important for everyone to play a role in arresting the moral decline among the youth. Together,
let us mold a generation of youth with exemplary moral values and principles.
Thank you. Yours faithfully, Melissa Ho, in bracket, a concerned parent. With that, you have seen how a good formal letter should be written. If you can write like this every time, you will be able to score well every time you write a formal letter. So guys, it's all the time we have for today. So remember to write great formal letters. Bye-bye.